Thank you, Dr. Ghosh, for taking up time from your busy schedule to enlighten us about the Boston Pledge Initiative that took place on January 23rd at 7:30 p.m. IST. Congratulations for adding a new chapter of hope in the history of South Asia. The topic for that discussion was uncovering the hidden assets of South Asia to trigger bottom-up socio-economic surge. Could you tell us about the occasion and why this session is so very significant?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. This year is the 20th anniversary of the Boston Pledge. As you may know, the Boston Pledge was launched essentially to serve people at the base of the pyramid around the world, particularly focused towards India, but we have had the privilege to do it all over the world. So in honor of the people that we have served, the people who have volunteered, we really wanted to make the 20th anniversary a very special one so that we could really engage with the issues in the South Asian region. After all, it's 24% of the global population, and much of the population is still living from hand to mouth. So from that point of view, we consider this event that we organized on January 23rd extremely important to take our mission forward.
Okay, thank you. You played key advisory role for state heads in over a dozen nations and top business leaders globally. And in this session, speakers like the former advisor to Prime Minister of India, ex-governor to Reserve Bank of India, social scientists, National Chief of Security Exchange of Bangladesh, CTO of world's sixth largest IT company, the largest industry federation of India, professors of eminent universities were present. What do you think about their views? Could you very quickly summarize for us, please?
Well, first, I'm very thankful that all those very important personalities did join this conference. In short, I think I would say the thoughts were basically at three different levels: philosophical level, strategic, and operational. At the philosophical level, I would say the first two speakers, first Sam Pitroda, talked about the importance of the world that we are living in, the hyper-connected world, where the meaning of borders perhaps is becoming different or irrelevant. And then my good friend Surjo Bose reminded us, being the grandson of the elder brother of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, the important role that he had played on, firstly, in liberation of united India, and number two, the vision that he cherished for the whole of South Asia. So that was very important for me because they both reminded of the philosophical importance of our conference. Then from the strategic point of view, Subbarao reminded the importance of balancing multiple dimensions of monetary policy. How do you manage interest rates between rich and poor, between the rural sector versus the urban sector, between people who are seniors versus people who are young? So that was a very important point, I thought. And then Dilip Chinoy talked about importance of building brand, which I think is extremely important, that a country like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, that together make about, again, 24% of the global population. We need to have some brands which shines on global stages. And then I think Shibli took a different attack, I would say, from Bangladesh, being the chairman of Bangladesh Securities Commission. He saw some positive aspects of Bangladesh, bottom-up development. He talked about the textile sector, which is doing extremely well, the garment sector, as well as the pharmaceutical sector, and of course talked about women entrepreneurship, which is all very good, and that's what we have to spread across South Asia. Then I was particularly influenced by Dr. Imran Saeed as well as Anjum Malik. Both of them are very much involved in social entrepreneurship, working in Sindh. Anjum Malik is focused on women, social entrepreneurship, whereas Imran Saeed is working in both Pakistan and Bangladesh in innovative ways of bringing primary education to poorer parts of the region. And then Dr. Jahangir Sultan, I think, reminded us that, look, for us to be able to draw, the region to be able to draw capital from different parts of the world, it has to significantly improve its risk profile. So it has to be significantly more transparent, has to be more honest, it has to how businesses are done. And obviously that remains a very, very big challenge and a good reminder of how businesses and politicians of the region have to stay on the line.
That's wonderful. That's very crisply all brought together and really evokes the discussions that had happened that day, the electric discussions that happened that day. And no surprise, your own presentation has drawn the attention of leaders of substance, corporate leaders and individuals in different countries, and not just in South Asia, but in about 6 continents from what I got to know. Could you please share key points from your own presentation with us? And please let us know where we could see the whole presentation.
Well, in my presentation, I think I basically covered 3 fundamental points. The first one was global in nature. And as you know, living as a global citizen, I really believe that the world is in a state of turbulence. World is looking for a new paradigm, both from geopolitical as well as geo-economic point of view. And I do think time has come that world would need to think of a new paradigm. And I often wonder whether South Asia, with its ancient heritage, its wisdom, could offer to the world an alternative paradigm. So that was my first point. The second point on the other side, as much as I am very proud to be part of that region and the heritage that we all cherish, but the current state of affairs in the region is extremely dismal. You know, whether we look at GDP per capita, we are still about $2,000 or so. Number 2, if you look in terms of Human Development Index, we are about 130 and below. If you look at the different nations in the region, and then if you look at sanitation, corruption, every way that nation and the nations in the region do not look as attractive. So obviously we have to fix the basics. And that moved into the third point. For us to be able to play a major role in the world, we should think of organizing the economic construct of the world, of the region in a different way. I propose 3 economies, particularly the green economy, the blue economy, the gold economy, and really create a rally around these 3 economies. And at the center, I see the importance of the human care engineering, which includes the lifestyle management, education management, all the way to healthcare and post-healthcare. So indeed, people lead a very healthy life. And then the 2 other areas which I feel we need to do a lot of work, one I'm calling heritage systems engineering, so that we could create new kinds of industries based on the ancient heritage. It could be Ayurvedic industries, it could be yogic industries, or some others which we even haven't uncovered. So those could open up new territories, not only for the region, but for the whole world. And the 6th area, which is very important for me, is redoing the food and beverage industry. I think the nutrition of the region is extremely poor. I think we have to think of how to make our diets become significantly more healthy so that we could run the Olympics and we could become more productive in the fields of the factories, and in the process create a new region, the South Asia or the Indian subcontinent, which looks significantly more attractive and a model for the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. From Asia, we've been very keenly following the activities of Boston Pledge and your dedication to public service all over the world. I mean, coming from India and particularly from West Bengal reminds me of the great souls like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Swami Vivekananda, Tagore, and others from Bengal. And for that matter, as a global citizen, you look up to heroes like Ataturk, Roosevelt, Mao Zedong, JFK, Lee Kuan Yew, and Tokugawa. What would you say is your message for social business, political leaders of South Asia, and in particular, the youth?
I do feel very humble with your question that to equate myself with such personalities, but I worship them, and I do believe I may be about 0.001% of what they are. But that gives me a lot of hope that I have a long, long way to go and to be able to measure up to kinds of challenges they undertook and the way they defined their roles in the world. But one common denominator among all of them, that they had all very humble beginnings, but at the same time, they worked with a vision, they worked with a mission, and they were able to create a rally, which I hope, with your help, but with the members of the Boston Pledge, we could create to better the lives of the people in South Asia, in the process, create a model which the whole world could look up to. So you're right. I mean, when I look at people like Lee Kuan Yew, Tokugawa, or Mao Zedong, Ataturk, and our leaders, be it Tagore or Netaji or Rajaram Mohan Roy, Vivekananda, we do have a lot of models. And we, not just me, but all of us should ask the question, given what they did in their lifetimes, what could I or we do with them being our inspiration? And I do draw a lot of energy from such personalities, and I hope I could definitely expand on them, continue to recharge myself so that we could run the course. This is a very difficult course we have to run. We have a lot of problems in our front of us. And I think they're solvable. As I mentioned, I talked about the 6 programs, which I think we could undertake, and that would define perhaps a new movement, which we will all enjoy working towards. We may not be there, but that's fine. We always search for excellence. Excellence has to be searched for, not attained. It moves away. So I see the challenges in front of us with a lot of confidence, but with a lot of humility as well.
Thank you, Professor Ghosh. I find it my extreme privilege to be considered to be part of this movement and the platform that Boston Pledge has been able to create over the years. My final question is, what is your vision of the path forward? What might be the next steps that you're contemplating?
A lot of great ideas came out of this conference, as you know. So I think the Boston Pledge team, is right now kind of fermenting them, thinking through what could be the next possible actions. But I do think that we will continue the dialogue. Building on the January 23rd, we'll pick up specific issues, maybe around education, maybe around enterprising, entrepreneurship, maybe around creating an example model village. In fact, we have a project in Lakhinkantapur. So I think the next 3 to 4 months, we will have more such dialogues, more such conferences, workshops, but significantly more focus towards specific initiatives that were kind of fermenting out of the January 23rd event. So that's what I think would be the next step.
Thank you so much. It was a very, very value-added session that day. And another round of thanks for taking time out of your very busy schedule to summarize what happened that day so succinctly for us. And on behalf of my team here in India, I would really like to be part of the dialogue and part of the action that you envisaged for us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.